Guys, what's up? My name is Zevi Shafran. Thanks for checking into my video. I wanted to speak with you guys today about good debt versus bad debt and what is the difference. The reason we're looking at that today is because interest rates are still super low coming into 2022, and realistically over the next year or so they're expected to go up. So what can I do today to take advantage of a low interest rate, make myself some money, even though I'm extending a little bit of debt, which is actually a good thing, depending on how it's done, and kind of carry me into, the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and kind of grow my portfolio of both income, appreciation, assets, and that's kind of the idea. So let's kind of dive into it. Bad debt is obvious. You go out there, you're just spending money on different things that will never appreciate in value. And so when you're thinking about debt, you're thinking about, personal debt, credit card debt, anything that when I personally run your credit as a mortgage broker, because I'm qualifying you for a loan, I'm going to look at your income and I'm going to look at your debt. And debt, theoretically is considered bad, right? Because it drags down the amount of income, the amount, that you could actually qualify for, or open up your income to other things that you're trying to get qualified for, like a house, right? So, if it's something that's not going to appreciate in value and I run your credit, so I'm looking at like credit card debt, installment debt, which is, like auto debt, different things like, maybe in student loans. And student loans is, obviously it's a variable because you're using this debt to increase your knowledge, and, hopefully that skill set one day is gonna pay back tenfold. So, that's a whole different topic in itself. But when we're focusing on long-term debt, like mortgage debt, okay, in today's world, we can secure financing for, a very, very attractive interest rate, very low interest rate. I want to give you an example, as it pertains to myself, because, I'm an active investor. And over the past handful of years, I also went out there and I bought some real estate. And I want to give you an example of how, if you were to run my credit today, you would see some mortgage liabilities. However, those mortgage liabilities are tied to a real estate portfolio. And in that real estate portfolio, there's different properties that all have debt. However, that debt is actually a good thing for me. It's a good thing for me because it allowed me at that time to acquire the property. So, if I was in a position where I had a down payment available and I was gonna go ahead and, buy a property, I wasn't gonna buy it in cash. So obviously I'm gonna secure a loan with long-term debt that's gonna be, in this case, somewhere in the low 3% range. And I'm going to secure as much debt as I possibly can with my 20% down payment, okay? Because that's generally what it takes if you're going to go buy an investment property. And that's exactly what I did, right? And so over, an extended period of time, because as we know, last year, for an example, 2021, homes appreciated about 18 to 20%, which is massive. So my debt served the purpose of, having me hold on to a investment property that actually appreciated only last year 20%, let alone, the appreciation that I got for the years before that. I'm not accounting for other associated benefits with, owning real estate, which is, something that I can get into and maybe in more detail on other videos, where you get credit for depletion and amortization, depreciation, different things that are associated with real estate, like repairs. All these things are huge benefits. But the point of the matter is that when you're considering debt, there's different ways of looking at debt. Debt could actually be a very, very positive thing if it's used correctly. And that's really my point here. Now, in addition to it, because we've gone through an inflationary period over the past 2 years, meaning that the cost of goods have actually increased in price. If things have increased in price, my dollar, is now worth less than it did yesterday, because if I'm about to go buy something and today it's more expensive than it was yesterday, unless my salary increased to, to increase to that price point, that means that my buying power is actually decreased unless unless I was holding on to assets. What a lot of people have done over the past several years is not only invested in real estate, an asset that's appreciating in price, and in addition to it, things like, just as an example, luxury, real luxury autos, like, I don't know, like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, different things like that, to my knowledge, have appreciated with the market, high-end Porsche, things like that. Things like Rolex watches, real fancy Patek Philippe's, all these kind of watch categories also appreciated significantly in the pandemic period. And so if you were able to secure debt against these kind of items that have appreciated in price, you would have been in a much better position today, because you would have been holding on to an asset that's worth a lot more money than what you've paid for it. And that's the idea. The idea is to be able to secure debt, to hold on to an appreciating asset. Hopefully that gives you somewhat of an idea the difference between good debt and bad debt. In addition to it, if you want to secure good debt, mortgage debt, I'm your guy. If you like these videos, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I really appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you on the next video, okay? Bye guys, take care.